Hey everybody, it's Willbits, and we're resuming Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. I assume? Yeah. We are! I was doubting it took a second. Courtroom number 4. We're back in court after too much research. Day 2. All rise. Make like bread and get out of your chair. Court is back in session for the trial of Damien Tinma. If you forgot what was going on, hopefully the trial's gonna reiterate things. Apollo Justice, defense team leader, is ready, Your Honor. Athena Sykes, assistant defender, is ready too, Your Honor. Je suis prêt. As chipper as ever, I see, and in French no less. And the prosecution? Back in manacles where you belong, Blackwell. Very well then. By the way, I asked Detective Fulbright to provide sturdier shackles today. There will be no more of your funny business this time, Prosecutor Blackwell. I'm not funny. Now, your opening statement, if you would. I believe it's standard procedure for the prosecution to handle it. Looks like the judge is really bringing it today. He probably realized how Blackwell played him. That was one mean game of Simon Says. I don't think that's quite how Simon Says work, but I mean, yeah, His Honor has to fight to defend his honor today. Your baldness. It's plain to see that you've always dreamed of delivering an epic opening statement. You did it last time. He's done it already. I have? I don't know if I'd say that. Why, of course you have. I saw it in your eyes the last time you gave the opening statement. That was the look of one who yearns deeply for the thrill of an epic opening statement. For decades now, you've been watching opening statements from your bench. They were the crown jewels of the court, the one thing you could not possess. The crown jewels of the court? Now, at long last, they are within your grasp. Don't most judges start as lawyers? Don't you actually begin your career as a lawyer and then work your way up to judging? Am I wrong? Isn't that a thing? You don't just become a judge. How could you possibly refuse? Oh, so you don't mind if I do it then? I'll make a special exception just this once. Here we go again. Yep, more of Blackwell's mind games. Well, in that case, I think I might go ahead and make the opening statement myself. In yesterday's session, we learned the shocking truth that the victim, Alderman Rex Cuby, was the amazing Ninetails. We also learned that the amazing Ninetails was a key figure in the Yokai craze and anti-merger protest. It was further revealed that upon learning Rex Cuby's secret identity, Mayor Damien Tinma murdered him. The fact that the crime took place in a tightly locked room was also brought to light. And the only people in that tightly locked room were the defendant and victim. The defense proposed the existence of a hypothetical third party, but further investigation revealed no proof of a third party who had escaped the room. Ergo, we must conclude that the evidence against the defendant is, well, conclusive. Right? Well, Eek! Did I say something wrong? That was quite astonishing. You've truly outdone yourself this time. Oh, one more thing to boast about to my grandchild. Well, that was not an unexpected turn of events. Now then, it seems the prosecution has called a new witness to testify. The inexplicable yokai evidence left at the scene of the crime. Well, does that not demand some sort of explanation? The feathers and tracks? Weren't those left by the mayor while he was possessed? That was but an act to protect his daughter. Oh, yes, of course. I had suspected as much. Wait, did he actually believe the mayor's award-winning performance? His daughter was the one who planted the yokai evidence. Ergo, the true identity of the yokai in the manor was the manor's maid, Jinxie Tenma.
Objection!
The prosecution's engaging in mere conjecture. Would you care for some witness testimony, then? I'll be happy to serve it up on a silver spoon, for I'm ready to prove that the little scamp is the one behind the Tenma Tarot farce. Witness testimony? I'll bet he means Filch and that creep LaBelle. Very well, then. Bailiff, would you bring in the first witness? Filch on the stand, again. Mr. Filch, you made quite the hasty exit yesterday. See that it doesn't happen again today. Been known for more hasty retreats since I was a kid. Bit of a trademark of mine. Indeed, you managed to give a total of 5 bailiffs the slip. Like those amateurs could ever nab me. Oi. Yoips! Perhaps we should shackle you by the neck. That would keep you in place. Yoips! No, please! I'm liable to rip my own head off if I start running. Your statement? Now. Yes, sir. Mr. Blackhead, sir. He may beat a hasty retreat, but there's no escaping Prosecutor Blackquill. Yeah, Blackquill doesn't strike me as the give-up-easy type. Now then, Mr. Filch, your testimony, please. Specifically, the true nature of the yokai you saw in the manor shortly after the crime. Witness testimony! The yokai is Jinxie. Wow. Tinmatero's really that little maid gal, ain't no doubt about it. I mean, the Tinmatero I saw was just a little thing about her size. But the little runt had a big old staff. I seen it when she came into the foyer. Betcha she stole it from the forbidden chamber after stumbling on the crime scene. She was gonna use it to wallop me on account of my fierce reputation, I just know it. So, Tinmatero was short in stature. And that's because it was Miss Jinxie's Tenma all along? You betcha. Besides, all the rest of the manor were way taller than her. Feigning height is but an easy thing. But a big ox like the defendant could never pass for short. What if the Tinmatero impersonator was walking on their knees? Weren't no knee walking. I seen it myself. Then perhaps that yokai really was Miss Tenma after all. All monsters are naught but tricks. Either of the mind or of the cheap parlor variety. Yeah, we're cranking up the Cockney. We gotta go full tilt to keep him separate from the goth. So you're saying she created an illusion like one of the magical eye things? Precisely. Human senses are easily deceived. Take the fellow in the cell next to me. Each night he cries and screams about some ghost he thinks he sees. It's actually me. But in truth, it was simply the janitor. Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas! Prosecutor Blackquill just gave up the ghost, literally. He died. No, not literally, I guess he didn't. Okay. The janitor's deathly complexion and all white attire are no doubt partially to blame. That and the fact that he constantly mutters about taking vengeance for this or that. Vengeance will be mine. These toilets will soon be clean by morning. That actually sounds like a real ghost to me. I'll soon clean every inch of this land, clean it of the dirt that betrayed my forefathers. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. All right, time to press some things. Beep, beep. Tinmatero's really that little maid gal, ain't no doubt about it. Don't you mean there isn't any doubt about it? Mr. Filch, you and Mr. LaBelle mentioned something about a practice yesterday. Do you deny this so-called lesson was about what you were supposed to say in court? No, you got all wrong! Then could you tell the court exactly what sort of lesson it was? It was, what was it again? Yoips! Now I remember, math! You know, numbers and stuff. Oh, would you mind doing some math problems for us now? Any math at all? He's completely under Blackwell's control, too. Anyway, that Tinmatero was that little mate gal, so what's the difference? I mean, the Timatero I saw was just a little thing, about her size. Let's talk about that. I take it you got a good look at how tall the Timatero impersonator was? You betcha! I got a habit of sizing people up. I can even give you a primer on how to pull it off, all under the table, natch. I got a knack for figuring out where people's pockets are and how much money they have. I'll size them real good before I relieve them of their valuables. He just admitted to being a pickpocket right here in court. He's not on trial for that, but does the witness hold that this Timatero entered the foyer? Darn right I do! I do! Little runt had a big old staff. Let's talk about the staff. Well, you're not gonna brush it all off by claiming the perp was short. Must have hit a raw nerve because you ain't taught that tall yourself. Maybe you're the yokai. Maybe I'm the yokai. Maybe I did the crime that I wasn't even here for. Did you think about that? Look who's talking, mister. I've got to stand on a box just to testify. Anyway, Mr. Filch, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you say the Timatero you saw had a staff? Cross my heart, hope to die. I know, cause it went a jingle and a jangle. Not necessarily in that order. And where do you suppose that staff came from? The staff, you say? Well, betcha she stole it from the Forbidden Chamber after stumbling on the crime scene. That's something where it seems a little sticky. I suppose you mean to say that Jinxie Tinma entered the Forbidden Chamber to get one? Well, I ain't never seen a staff like that in the manor, so I had to be the Forbidden Chamber. Oh, really? The stench of LaBelle is thick in the air today. Jinxie entered the Forbidden Chamber after the incident. Then she took the staff and tried to cover up her actions by pretending to be Timatero. I guess that's what Filch is trying to say. Could Jinxie have entered the Forbidden Chamber if she wanted to? There is one thing I was wondering about. Why did that yokai have a staff in the first place? Well, I've got more hunches about that. She was going to use it to wallop me on account of my fierce reputation. Oh, just know it. Fierce. Okay. Wallop you? And why would the so-called yokai want to do that? That little maid gal never did like me. She always hightails it when I come around, or she sticks these weird papers on my noggin. She probably thinks of him as the dreaded Tanuki monster of QB Manor or something. We need to prove that Jinxie isn't Timatero, but I've no idea how we're going to do that. All we have to do is prove that it was impossible for Jinxie to turn into Timatero. And that might be easier than you think. Really? Now's our chance. Our chance to expose the real Timatero for all to see. Alright. So, had a big old staff. The Forbidden Chamber is what I think. Let's look at what we've got in our little bag of tricks here. Foyer diagram, Fox and Demon statue, crime scene photo. Let's look at this statement. Calling the police, they passed each other. He was carrying a staff like him when that jingled. She couldn't call for help because there was no one else in the hall. That doesn't help us here. I feel like the locked door in this might help. There's a key. The mayor took from the killer and swallowed. There's only one of its kind. I'm pretty sure the key is what we want here. Objection! Yep. It would seem that Timatero was, in fact, not this innocent little girl. Huh? How you figure that? You claim the Timatero you saw had one of those staves from the Forbidden Chamber. But it would have been impossible for Miss Tima to get a hold of one. Care to elaborate, Mr. Justice? Hi, Applejack. Thanks for following. The mayor swallowed this key shortly after the murder. He wanted to keep the killer out of the Forbidden Chamber. What's this? Uh-oh, because in this land we don't have to submit our evidence before we bust it out on you. What? This key was deep in the mayor's stomach when Miss Timma discovered the crime scene, so you see it would have been impossible for her to get into the Forbidden Chamber. In short, the Timotero seen holding that staff could not have been Jinxie Tenma. Ugh! Nog! Oh! What? No! But then who does the defense believe was impersonating Timotero? Our Timotero impersonator is none other than Mayor Tenma's aide. Such accusations beg evidence. Aside from his ghastly appearance, can you prove he is the yokai we seek? Yes, in fact, I can. We found a little something in the Forbidden Chamber. Very well, let's see where the defense is going with this. Mr. Justice, please show us proof as to the true identity of the Timotero impersonator. Let's see. Not this one. This is the one that was recently dropped in the Forbidden Chamber. Hand cream. We found this hand cream in the Forbidden Chamber, and we know that whoever was Timotero took one of the staves out of there. In short, I believe whoever this hand cream belongs to is the yokai impersonator we're looking for. But Mr. Justice, how do you propose to identify the hand cream's owner? I'm glad you asked, Your Honor. The defense requests a fingerprint analysis of this piece of evidence. It might tell us who it belongs to. Interesting. So you expect to find the yokai's prints there? Very well, I hereby call a short recess while we wait for the fingerprint results. No need for that, Your Baldness. We have the prints of everyone at the manor that day. You called, Prosecutor Blackquill? Could anyone be more whipped? What are they dating? Fulbright, analyze this for prints. You have 3 minutes. Your wish is my command. Very well, then. I guess we'll just wait right here. It would seem the fingerprint analysis is complete. What do the results show? What in the world? They're Florent LaBelle's prints, aren't they? This is absurd! Prosecutor Blackquill? I'm not gonna like this, am I? Don't tell me. They're Timotero's prints? Oh. The fingerprint analysis has revealed that the prints belong to... Is it the judge? Phineas Filch. Objection! I object to that. Wait, what? What? Then Mr. LaBelle wasn't the one who entered the Forbidden Chamber? Objection! Why, you tricksy little Tanuki! Explain yourself now! Sure, the imprints are mine. I mean, I did peel for the hand cream from Mr. LaBelle, after all. So you're the one who entered the Forbidden Chamber? So what if I did? Got a problem with it? Yoips! Ah! You fool of a Tanuki! Order! Order! Mr. Justice, care to explain what this could mean? Excellent question. The fact that Mr. Filch was in the Forbidden Chamber... Wait a second. Does this mean the Timotero holding that staff was Phineas Filch? Yoips! Another cat out of the bag! Mr. Filch is Timotero? Oh, how many yokai could one man be? I don't understand. Does this mean Mr. Filch is the real killer? The witness will explain himself this instant. Begging your pardon, Your Honourship. I was just doing what the alderman told me. He wanted to be Timotero in the village exorcism ritual. Oh, you mean that event at the Nine Tails Vale Festival? So, that was you inside the Timotero costume? Yep, and after the event, I went to watch that pro wrestling program, but it brought me to tears on account of the wrestlers being complete jobbers. So he didn't actually watch the entire wrestling match. That's when I looked at the Timotaro costume and got a great idea! Nobody can tell it's me while I'm wearing it! And cause of them superstitions, no matter what I do, the villagers won't say a word. In other words, you use the superstitions to effectively render yourself invisible. Why did you want to enter the Forbidden Chamber in the first place? Cause of the treasure there! Thought that was my big chance to sneak on it and nab it. Treasure? Only that it's the greatest get-rich-quick chance in the universe. Grandpappy told me all about it. Said there's an amazing treasure in there. He went in there not knowing his grandfather had already pilfered it. Guess that's one tale that didn't get passed down from grandpappy to grandson. Wait, how exactly did you get into the Forbidden Chamber? There was a meeting in the Fox Chamber that day. Plus the mayor swallowed the only key that could open the Forbidden Chamber's door. You couldn't have possibly gotten in. I could through the air vent in the foyer. The vent's left to the alderman's picture. I went on in and made a nice little hole. Used that to get into the air duct that leads to the Forbidden Chamber, I did. You what? But how is that even possible? Wait a sec. Remember that air vent in the Forbidden Chamber? So Mr. Filch found a way to get into that air duct. And that's how he got from the foyer vent to the Forbidden Chamber vent? Okay. So Tinmatero is nothing more than a cat burglar, or rather, a Tanuki burglar. And we're back to being without anyone to charge for the alderman's murder. Looks like our so-called yokai is nothing more than one big troublemaker. Tell me, Mr. Filch, what did you do after fleeing to the foyer? I got out of that costume right quick. Would have just caused trouble at that point. And where is that costume now? Heck if I know. And it ain't my fault if you never find it. The police searched every nook and cranny. No yokai costume was left in that manor. What if it was tossed outside the manor? Ah! They just threw it. No way! But maybe. Just maybe. The defense seems to have hit upon an idea. Well, go on, Mr. Justice. Okay, here's what I think. Mr. Filch, did you get rid of the costume here? But I think that it is out the window. Right here. Did you toss it out the window? Because that would certainly explain why it didn't turn up inside the manor. You think I tossed it out the window? That costume cost me a pretty penny. So why would I do something like that? I can think of a few reasons. Any bright ideas, Apollo? Well, assuming the costume really was tossed out from the window, then the next question would be, what happened to it after that? And if I'm right, I might have just the thing to prove what happened to the costume. Phineas Filch, I have just the evidence for you. You do? I do? The evidence proves you got rid of your timid costume through the window. I'm guessing it's the special edition paper, because nothing else really talks about the costume. Plus, it's what they showed to us. Let's present it. Ah, that's, Timotero flying through the sky? And just how does that prove Mr. Filch threw his costume out the window? It's quite simple. That's not Timotero in the photo, it's the costume Mr. Filch threw out. Oh, that's crazy talk! You ain't serious, are ya? There's a steep cliff right outside the foyer window, meaning the manor's pretty high up. The costume flew through the air after it was tossed out. That's when the photo was taken. In other words, the photo of Timotero really was a flight of fancy. What? Yikes! The translator's doing a mostly good job, you guys. A few typos are not bad. Oh my, so there really never was a yokai. Oh, I can't keep any of them cats bagged. Can I still file a claim for the lost costume? This more than proves the defense's position. Jinxie Tenma had nothing to do with staging the yokai sighting. Care to raise any objections, Prosecutor Blackwell? take that as a no. None whatsoever. I'll deal with that tricksy Tanuki after I've dealt with this case. I'll kill them all. Oh, saved by the shackles for now. We did it! Jinxie's off the hook! Good going! Now all we have to do is make Florent LaBelle take the stand.
Objection.
Oh, the letters came in all fancy. Oh! Sheathing the sword a bit early, are we not? You didn't object. You gotta object to some things if you're gonna. Nothing has been proven beyond a doubt. Take this tricksy little Tanuki, for instance. How do you suppose he was able to exit the Forbidden Chamber? Probably the same way he got in, through the chamber's air vent. And what are the feathers and tracks at the scene of the crime? They would suggest that Tanuki exited through the chamber door, not the air vent.
Objection.
But the Forbidden Chamber doesn't open from the inside. So what you're saying makes no sense. Right? Someone on the outside opened the door for you, isn't that right? Yep, that's right, Mr. Blackjack. The door suddenly sprung right open. Sprung right open? Who was on the other side? Didn't get a good look on account of the sudden glare. Someone really shiny. Like how the reflection from my head blinds fellow moviegoers emerging from the dark. That's when our snotchat staffer made more daring escape. And then that little maid gal spotted me as I hightailed it down the hall. That means the Forbidden Chamber wasn't open till after the crime was discovered. But wait, we still don't know who opened it. Maybe there really was a third person in the Fox Chamber.
Objection.
Well, you little Tanuki. When the Forbidden Chamber opened, did you see the accused passed out there? Nope. Only one there was Alderman, and he was dead as a doornail. If the accused wasn't there, what do you suppose he was up to? Uh-oh. I don't like where this is going. I don't like where it's going. Oh, don't tell me. Plainly, the only one who could have opened the Forbidden Chamber was the accused Damien Tenma. Ah! Ha ha! Wait a second. There had to be somebody else besides Mayor Tenma there. Really? And who might that be? Oh, well that would be...
Objection.
It seems our feisty little lass has forgotten the most important thing. Evidence. I didn't forget. I was just testing your attention to details. Miss Sykes, you can't prove your point without some proof of some sort. It's a proven fact. Sorry, guess I put my foot in my mouth again. No, Athena, we're definitely onto something here. We are? Think about it. If Filch was stuck inside the Forbidden Chamber, one of the alibis we heard no longer hold any water. The defense would like to call a new witness to the stand, someone who knew Mr. Filch was stuck in the Forbidden Chamber, and by virtue of knowing this, has an alibi that no longer adds up. Florent LaBelle, because his alibi was that he was with him. Not that insufferable. No, anyone, but please not Florent LaBelle. Very well, the court will hear what Mr. Justice has to say.